Okay. Alright, so that's not going to be using the Wi-Fi. That's going to be using the cellular service. So I can actually use this and maybe read some of the questions. Alright. Take two. Take two. We're going to try this again. Alright, live now.
Alright. Waiting on them. Alright, so we're back. You back? Looks good so far. Seems better. What's up from Io? What's up, Mike?
All right, let's keep our hopes that AT&T has it. And the nice thing is now it's 6 o'clock, so for some of you guys, this is actually the show starting.
Correct.
All right, so now we can get going. Yeah, let's hit it. All right.
All right. 2004.
Well, let's start over.
What?
I'm joking. Okay, 2004.
Yeah, no. I mean, 2004 Cambric with JBL audio system. Which DSP would you recommend to add 2 additional amplifiers? Well, I mean, if you're gonna add a DSP, you can go with the AR. It's oh no, it's a 2004. I'm sorry.
No, yeah,
it's
you
a
can't
2004.
So what is it? It's a 2004 what?
It's a 2004 Camry with JBL.
I'd do a new radio.
Definitely a new radio.
I mean, if it's 2004, you put a new radio in it.
Yeah.
And then if you want to do a DSP, you just have to figure out how many channels you want to put into it.
Yeah.
So, most DSPs are 6 to 8. That seems to be the most popular combination pack on a DSP is 6 to 8. A 6 to 8 is going to give you, now depending if they're discrete, so like most of them have at least 2 discrete channels. So it's like 1, 2 is one set, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 are split, and then 7, 8 are back together. So that is like 1, 2 could be tweeters, 3, 4 could be mid, 5 could be center, 6 could be sub, and then 7, 8 could be rear. Now you could do 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 7 and 8, 5 has sub, and then 6 could be like a mono rear fill if you wanted. If you want to do like a 3-way active set and then rear and then sub and then center, that's going to get you into like an 8 to 10. So these are just the thoughts you have to keep in mind. The Alpine, the 800850S is a 6 in and 12 out. So that's also another beast to think about.
Right. I would do the audio controls.
Hi guys, any preference to either the Kenwood XR 1800 7-inch or the Kicker 6.5? Well, the 7-inch is going to have the most mid-bass. We nickname those the mid-bass monsters. So those have a really strong mid-bass. The tweeter is a tad soft. However, they have the brand new Exelon versions that just came out for 2020. They're the high-res version. And from what we're told, fixes that soft tweeter issue and makes it a more lively tweeter. And those are also available in the 7-inch. So you might want to check those out.
All right, I just bought the DSP 4.8. Time to remake a DSP amp rack under seat. Using you as inspiration. Thank you. We have well, depends on what kind of car, but yeah, that's cool, man.
For those of you guys that watched like the amp rack builds and you want to know what we use as far as materials, about 2 weeks ago we did do a show where we just talked about all the plastics we use, how we router them, how we cut them, and stuff like that. So if you didn't catch that, you might want to go back and watch it. We kind of show you, well, we do show you all the ins and outs of all the plastics we use. It's kind of nice.
What's up, David Monroe?
After looking at getting my whole system in my 2019 Touring Civic replaced, all speakers, I would have to have a 10-channel processor, and to get it all aligned will be a $10,000 system. That is not true. All right, so you don't actually, there again, the Alpine processor is like the Honda Civic or Honda in general dream come true, because what makes that processor so neat is that the 6 channels of input are all discrete, meaning they're independent. So channel 1 is just channel 1. It is not a paired to channel 2. So you could take that 0850S, PXE 0850S, and put it into your Honda Civic, okay? And this is where it gets fun, because that processor has 8 channels of 25 watts built into the 12-channel DSP that it has. So follow the logic here. You feed in your front tweeters, your front mid-bass, your center, and your sub into that. That's 6 channels. Next, you go out of the processor to the center channel with one of the 25-watt channels, and to the rear with the other 25-watt channels. Now, if you have active rear, which some of those do, then you just do 2 sets. So you're using 5 of those 8 channels to power up that. Now, on the output, the center channel, whatever channel you use that to, its paired channel is going to have to just not be used because you're using that power. But what that leaves you with is enough extra channels to do an amplifier to power your front components and also a subwoofer. So you could conceivably do that Alpine piece to power up all the non-essential speakers like the center channel and the rear fill, a 4-channel amplifier to power up your front components, and then a mono block to power up the subwoofer. You don't have to go crazy as far as, $10,000 as you said. It's fairly simple. So put that into your thought process, and maybe you'll get into a Honda a little bit more reasonably priced, maybe half that. Because I know the ones that we've done, they haven't been 10 grand, and they've had that process. That's how we know what to recommend.
All right, hey guys, any preference? Either the Kenwood XR 1800p 7-inch.
I already read this one.
Okay.
That one we already answered. That behind you looks like a Dodge Ram. Yeah, all right, so for those of you guys that didn't catch the first go-around at the show, you caught the teaser of us trying to do this the first time, and it failed miserably. Oh, well. We have a 2019 or 2020 Dodge Ram behind us that we're going to be working on next week. He dropped it off because he lives far away, and this is a 911 video we're going to be shooting. It's already got a stereo in it, and it's all screwed up. Oh my God, it's bad. So we're going to be filming this all next week, at least for the first half of next week. This is all we got to work on, as we typically do when we do a big job like this. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to be fixing this whole nightmare. And of course, we're taking you guys along with the camera. So once we get done with the Ford F-150 911, we finally get to get into a Dodge Ram. So for those of you guys that are Dodge Ram guys, this one has the Mark Levin's Bang & Olufsen. No, what is it?
No,
Infinity.
this one has the
Harman Kardon. This one has a Harman Kardon with a big 12-inch screen. So it's the Mac Daddy. We're going to have some fun with it. Somebody gave it a really bad day, and well, we're going to make it better. So stay tuned for that. Derek Easter.
All right, can you feed 2 amplifiers with a high-level input?
Well, I was going to give Derek Easter the shout out for dropping the $2 on us.
There you go.
Best time to do Big 3 time alignment tips. Best time to do Big 3. There again, Big 3 is when you add the extra grounds. It really depends on the car you're doing, and you have to be real careful with doing the Big 3 on a newer car, because you have to keep in mind that the ground is what controls the output of the alternator, and sometimes changing the ground plane changes the performance of the alternator and can do bad things. But there again, if you pay attention to it, you keep an eye on it, you're fine. Going after the draw and not is the most important thing, and looking for the loop. I'd show you on this one, but we don't have access to it right now. Time alignment tips. Okay, so put someone in the seat, preferably you, where you're going to sit. Get yourself up. Get your buddy, like Fernando, to take a tape measure and go write it all down. So even if you're not going full active, still measure to the tweeters, measure the mid-range. You want to measure to, do we have a speaker somewhere?
We have speakers everywhere, but not here.
Not out. You want to go to the inside cone of the speaker. So if speaker's shaped like this, you want to go to the inside cone, right to the dust cap. Okay, measure to that. So if it's on a door panel, add in a couple inches, 2 to 3 inches, just add. So if it's 50 inches to the center of the grill where the speaker is, add another 2 to 3 inches to that. Okay, do that for all the speakers. Now if you're doing a set of components that are passively crossed over, meaning go use the mid-bass as your measurements to start with. Sometimes you actually will have to flip them up to the tweeter measurements we found, just to help it image better. It depends on the tweeter that you're using. But don't be afraid. Now, once you get that all done and you get them all in, it's not concrete, okay? So that doesn't necessarily mean you have to leave it there. A real simple thing to do is to just go to the front speakers only and play polarity pops. Okay, that pop, pop, pop speaker test that we use, and see where that falls. It should fall in the center. If it doesn't, try moving the driver's side out or in an inch or two to see if that causes that popping sound to move back to the center. Add in the rear fill to make sure that it's still where it needs to be, and then do the same with the subwoofer. Give it a try.
All right. Can you feed two amplifiers with a high level input? Looking to add the Alpine KT U45, 44, 44, yeah, 5U. Eventually add a subwoofer, or should I go with the 5-channel amplifier and done?
So, all right, real quick. Alan, you're the man. Wayne, you're the band. Wayne Rice coming in. And then Alan, thank you so much for dropping us a 5.
Hey, Alan.
Okay, so the question is, can I use a 2-channel high-level to low-level adapter to feed everything? And the answer to that is, of course, yeah.
Yep.
Sure, why not? But let's expand on that. If you have something like an LC2I as a high-level to low-level adapter, and if you don't subscribe to us on Instagram, make sure you subscribe to us on Instagram at 5-star, of course, 5-star, the number 5-star car stereo, because we do the thing where we do 5 minutes with 5-star, which is our daily like this, but we do it every day. And today we had a BMW, and we were showing you guys how to test the output voltage before you put in the high-level to low-level adapter to understand if you have the right high-level to low-level adapter. In this case, this BMW put out 30 volts of power.
Yep.
Okay, that means you have to have a high-level to low-level that will take 30 volts of power, which just so happens to be an LC2I is what we had. There are others that will do it, like a WaveTech and whatnot. But the LC2I has a main output and a sub output. You know, it only has 2 speaker inputs. It allows you to use both. So what that'll do is that'll give you 2 channels of output for a full range amplifier to go off to do that. And then it'll give you 2 channels of sub output with AccuBass to fix bass roll off. So that's a really helpful high level to low level adapter. Now, if you just buy something like a pack or whatnot, or if you buy an amplifier that already has a high level to low level built into it, then there's no need to buy a second one. Some amplifiers will be, that's what you want to look at on the specifications, input voltage, and check to see what it has. Sometimes they break them apart, meaning high level, low level, and what you want to check is to see how high it'll go. If it goes up to 12 volts, most factory systems that do not have amplifiers will be able to handle that. The other thing you want to test for is, of course, DC offset, which we've got a couple videos on how to do that. But that will allow you to, you know. Now, as far as the second part of the question is, do I do a 5-channel amp or whatever? That's up to you. If the 5-channel amp has enough power for the subwoofer you're trying to drive, it only makes sense to go with the 5-channel amp. Okay. Harry is the man. Harry's dropping 20s, just making it rain. Thank you, Harry.
Yeah.
What's up, Danny V? Good evening from Canada.
All right. 2019 Civic Sport. Question: adding an amplifier and subwoofer. Major amp pop. Is crazy rumble out of the blue? Yeah, it doesn't mean there is a factory amplifier. It's a 2019 Civic Sport question.
29 Civics
I think
typically
that's what we
don't.
did in
They typically don't have ANC, but it might. Just check to see if there's a microphone in the headliner above the rear seat. If there is, and it has ANC or automatic noise canceling, that'll be a module. It's about this big in the glove box that has to be disabled. If you're getting major turn-on pop, where do you have it turned on from? Meaning, is it using a remote turn-on? Is it using the DC offset? That's kind of important to figure out. If you have it hooked up to ignition as opposed to accessory, that could also be bad, or accessory instead of ignition. These are all things that matter when you get turn-on pop, as it were. But those are the things you want to check to see if that helps.
Love you guys.
In other words.
Yeah, love you guys show, and Dean amp racks inspired me to start building the system again. Did a touch screen backup camera with the P212 sub. Yeah, nice.
Bobby with the podcast, please.
That's awesome.
You know, we still got 2 of those that we haven't even put out yet.
All right. Somebody said 2020 Silverado with internet.
Yeah.
What do you guys suggest for a high-low level?
Remember, don't put your hand on your
No,
chin.
no.
Yeah, but you're okay.
Yeah.
2020. Okay, so the first question with the 2020 is, does it have bows or non-bows? I need to know that before I can recommend. Kelly Prince coming in with a 20, and Christian Harris dropping 5. Had a speaker hitting metal and learn what you mean about rotating speakers. Ooh, so what he had and what he's talking about is when you go to put a speaker in the door, you have this 2 little leads that stick off. If the hole isn't big enough, okay, so like on a Honda, it seems to be a theme tonight. A Honda has this funky shape, and it's round and then it comes down with this little U. Well, sometimes the speakers don't line up right. This is a really bad example, I understand. And those 2 tabs, those two will touch metal. Or they'll be close enough to touch metal so when you hit a bump, it'll touch metal. So you always want to make sure that if those aren't insulated, and we only use insulated ones, or we solder and we put shrink wrap over them. But even still, sometimes the tinsel leads do weird things. So always check. Be in the mind programmed when you go to put a speaker in the door that those tinsel leads and those speaker terminals are not going to touch anything, because that's a dead short, and that sucks, and that's bad.
All right. Do you ever repin the door plugs in the door jamb to run wires in the new speakers?
Actually, we have done that in the past, and we did that in a Hyundai, one of the Hyundai Veloster video we did. The problem we run into is that it's finding the pins. One of the things that I was trying to get like PAC or Metro to do was do the research to find out what pins those are, and then let us know and sell the pins or sell pinning kits. Like EchoMaster has all these rear view camera things or side view cameras that attach, and I'm like, well, how are we pinning the doors? And they're like, what do you mean? And it's like, well, it's really hard to run wires through some of these cars without destroying the Molex. So, if you can find the pins, totally repin it. There's nothing wrong with that, for sure.
Have you guys ever demo an up mixer center channel car? What do you guys think?
Have we demoed one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy had one.
What do you think?
I liked it, but I was sitting in the driver's seat, so it really didn't matter.
What's up, Melissa from Minnesota?
So what we're talking about is center channels. To create a center channel and 2-channel audio, you need what's called an up mixer. 2-channel audio is what we listen to. It's stereo. It's recorded to left, it's recorded to right. It's not like a movie that's recorded in surround sound. With up to 9 channels of audio, so that if you have the proper decoder, it will read all that stuff. Audio isn't recorded that way. It's literally left-right. So in order to do a center channel, you need a processor that is going to extrapolate certain frequencies out, combine them, and give you a center image. The purpose of doing that is to create what you call a 2-seat car.
2-seat car.
I always call it a 2-person car, but it's a 2-seat car, meaning the person in the passenger seat.
Kind of the same thing.
I know. The person in the passenger seat and the person in the driver's seat both experience a very similar center channel, meaning that wherever you're sitting in the car, you get very similar images. The reality is, and we're trying to get it to sound as good as a 1-seat car, but for the passenger.
Right. So they can enjoy the same experience.
If you want to experience this, just find anything with Mark Levinson built into it, okay? Because the Mark Levinson system by Harman Kardon has that built into it, and you can sit in the passenger seat and you'll notice that there's a center image and it sounds good. That's why when we do those cars, if they don't make an Amp Pro, we're not doing a big time alignment system. We're letting that be. We're just adding a little bit of EQ to it, because the processor it has is done by a really smart sound engineer that's doing a way better job than we're going to do. All we want to do is just make it sound a little better, obviously by putting new speakers in it. But if anyone wants to hear it, that would be how you do it. Now, right now, as far as the gold standard, as it were, for up mixers currently available, that is going to be Helix. Helix has like the up mixer of that they're like, yeah, they're really promoting the hell out of that. And the cheapest one to get it on is the mini DSP.
All right.
Mini DSP? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the mini DSP. Have you heard the speaker stage?
To do what?
Speakers.
So it's this guy right here.
Speaker stage.
Speaker stage?
Yeah,
Brand?
I mean, the brand of the speaker or whatever is the stage.
No, I haven't.
No? Okay.
No.
No, we haven't.
No.
My radio is sending his sound to my amplifier speakers with an LC6i. What's a good aftermarket radio for a 2010 Dodge Charger?
Ooh.
Aftermarket radio, Kenwood. Right now, I don't like radios, but the Kenwood, what do you have?
9906?
9906 is for me is the best.
Yeah, 9906.
Yeah.
It's going to be the thing.
It has navigation.
Well, no, the 9906 doesn't have nav. It's just CarPlay. 996 has navigation.
Yeah, just
but
check Kenwood.
There'll be a 7 coming out here in another couple months. Well, maybe. Big word of the day, extrapolate. Thank you, Robert. Robert, he said that.
Okay, so Impala 340. Anything for a 2006 Q45? What does that mean? Like anything what?
Well, because they don't make a dash kit for it or anything
maybe,
like that.
Like you can do anything. No, well, not radio.
Well,
but
so the problem with like that car is like the factory amplifier or the radio dies, so you're stuck with always going after the amplifier, and that's just unfortunately because that uses most bus. I think it's most bus like over copper, and right now nobody's developing for that.
No, but I mean you can still add amplifiers.
Well, you can still go after the fact. You do what's called speaker for speaker.
Yep.
So speaker for speaker or power for power is when, and this is what we do in a Mark Levinson system, like previously mentioned. If you have a channel for tweeter, channel for mid bass, or whatever it has, you match that. You don't try to do summing. You don't try to do anything fancy. You just, if there's 10 channels of audio, you buy 10 channels, or you just buy the channels that need to be upgraded. So a lot of the times we'll get those cars in and we'll do what's called a front stage upgrade, meaning they have a tweeter, they have a mid bass, they may or may not have a subwoofer. We're going to slap a 5-channel amplifier in there, preferably one with a DSP. The go-to one that we typically do is the Q Class 1005, and we'll put that full active in there. We'll run the factory tweeter into 1 and 2, the factory mid bass into 3 and 4, and if there is a subwoofer, that'll go into the channel for sub 5. If there isn't one, then we just extract it off the mid bass, and that's it. We'll use the EQ portion of the amplifier. We don't mess with the time alignment because it's already done. If it's not done, then we will. But we'll use the crossover. We'll put a better set of speakers in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to improve the bass in the front stage, which is 90% of what people want to sound better.
All right. Hello from Holland. What's up, buddy? Holland. Yeah,
and Poland.
Saludos from Vancouver, Canada. What's up, Josue?
Thank you for loving the videos.
Hello, have you guys ever run new speaker wires in a 2014-2017 Mazda 6? And if you so, what's hard to run it? Through the door plug.
Yeah.
Well, like we say before.
Yeah. So Mazdas are like the Toyota that Jeff did. They have this weird plug that just kind of like wraps around. Most of it's tape. Some of it's rubber. It's not the hardest one to do, but it does involve a lot of patience and time, and then re-taping the harness up, if it's what I'm thinking about on that one. Is it doable? All of them are kind of doable. It's just a matter of how committed you are to it. If you don't feel like, anytime you have to drill, that's where it gets kind of sketchy. I always recommend at that point is just grab the wires in the kick panel and just let the factories run from there.
So Victor say, Fernando, why you don't like radios?
Yeah, I saw that. No, why don't you like his radio?
Okay, it's a big screen. It's floating screen. It's like
we're gonna put a floating screen in your car.
It's just because not my decision. But yeah, it's not my decision.
It's my decision, right? Yeah, okay.
It's your decision, basically.
Yeah.
But that kind of screen, like, don't get me wrong. These brand new cars, big screens, they awesome. You know, so you don't need to change that radio anymore. I have a 2004 G35. I have my factory radio. Like we say, we're gonna change it put the high res.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, it's just
okay.
like I'd rather to have a DSP, and that's it. That's gonna.
Well, that's what you
gonna
have
make
now.
me happy. Yeah.
Yeah, you have the DSP running Bluetooth. John asks, if you're running 2 sub-amps on separate subs, how would you adjust them to be about the same? John, that's actually pretty simple. Thank you for finally asking something. All right. Pick one. Pick one. Figure out where it clips at. You could do the math. You could do distortion detector. You can use a oscilloscope. You can do whatever you want. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's say it puts out 30 volts. Okay, so you put, and we actually have a video on this, John, how to gain match using I think it's gain match using a Lumi. Yeah. We took a Morel amp 4-channel. So you play a test tone, pick a test tone that you like, 1,000, 40, 50, 200, doesn't matter. Play a test tone, put it onto there, put it to AC, and see. So let's say one amp puts out 30 volts. Put it on the other amp. Okay, and put it at 30 volts. Now take your oscilloscope, make sure that amp is not clipping. Yeah. All right, at 30 volts, and there you go. Now both amps will put out exactly 30 volts, which is exactly the same amount of power, and everyone will be happy about it. So you're just using a voltmeter to gain match.
All right, Eric.
He writes, after you drop this $9.99.
Thank you, sir.
It's weird. It's like the old Jerry Seinfeld thing when he was doing a gas pump commercial when they gas stations first started taking credit cards, because you always pay cash.
Yeah.
So you'd sit there and you try to get right to $10. Okay, because $10 used to be able to put gas in your car.
Yeah, and then you over.
And then he would be like, oh, and he'd drop like 10.25.
No, like it's always good like 10.
Well, then he'd pull out his card and he'd like, and he'd be like, and it's like Jerry Seinfeld.
Anyway,
okay.
Eric.
Plan to follow your F-150 build using the Kicker Q-Class 1005 non-B&O. Amp is disconnected. Still recommended alternative. Okay. So would you talk about potential problems with start-stop use factory speaker wires? All right. So basically what we have is we have an F-150 non-B&O. Is the Q-Class 1005 still the amp of choice? The answer to that is simple. Yes. We love that amp.
Yeah.
We'll get to you in a minute, Jason. If you're going to be doing this, the problem with the Q-Class is that it's limited power for the subwoofer. Like the question earlier was, is a 5-channel amp to go with? If the power that the sub-channel puts out, then yes, that's the perfect amp to go with. When we're designing a system with that, and we're going to do 2 Kicker Comp RT10s, it's a perfect amp to go with. It'll handle both those. If we're going to do one bigger 12 and a porta box, it's a perfect amp to go with. It'll handle that. Now, as far as factory wiring goes, for what that amplifier puts out, the factory wiring is perfect for it. It'll do exactly what it needs to do, and it'll run fine, be no issues. You do have to get the T-harness from Metra in order to make your life easy. Now, as far as the stop-start goes, there again, Metra actually, if you saw the video where we did Metra stop-start, they actually just came out with a new stop-start that is a plug-and-play, because that was one of the things on that video that we were like, it'd be nice if it was plug-and-play. It's not, we understand. It worked like a champ, though. They have since taken the advice that we were like, guys aren't going to want to tear up there. And they're like, really? And we're like, yeah. So they've actually updated the piece. We were supposed to have one by now, but we don't because of this world that we live in current state. But they do have a new stop-start bypass that just plugs in. Haven't seen it yet, don't know. But the problem with stop-start is that when you go to start up the vehicle drops the voltage down extremely low, like 8 volts, okay? So if the amplifier is not designed to run down to 8 volts, meaning the power supply shuts off past most shut off around 10 volts, then what's going to happen is when the car goes to start back up, the amplifier is going to shut off, reboot, and turn back on. Okay, kind of like the internet was doing when we first tried to do this. It would shut down, turn on. Okay, so the stop-start bypass, what it is called a memory minder. Meaning when you press the button while its car is on, it's designed to remember that so that when you turn off the car, start up the car, it physically just pushes the button. It just mentally, as it were, says, I'm going to push the button.
It's like your radio. You have accessory, 12 volt, and ground. So as soon as you connect the accessory wire, it remembers you radio stations and you clock and everything. So
good analogy.
Yeah.
And that's what it's doing for you. So if you want to keep stop-start, then you have to find an amplifier that doesn't die at, will live down to 8 volts.
Right.
Really, there's only a handful of them that do that.
Mm-hmm.
Most notable is this company here,
Yeah.
Helix. They're kind of on the forefront of the whole stop-start thing.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in getting a DSP'd amplifier and keeping your stop-start, head over to helix.com, check out their products, and then you can find a dealer. They're not sold on the internet. You have to find a physical dealer.
I believe the Kicker CS are like
Yeah, but they don't have DSP.
compatible. Yeah.
They don't make a DSP, so it kind of defeats.
All right, another one for Jason Zimmer. Sorry if I said it wrong.
Must be
2000.
that accent.
That's my accent. I'm sorry.
What accent?
2006 Ford Runner, running old school MB Core 5.25 component mounted next to each. Oh, they mount next to each other in the rear door. How's the best way to tune the DSP 810 with the passive crossovers? So it's components.
Is it components?
Yes.
Oh, 5.25 components
Yeah.
next to
each other.
Okay. If you're going passive, when we were talking about, first thing you want to do. All right, let's take you through the steps of DSP. When setting up DSP, the first thing you're going to do is your time alignment, if you're interested in time alignment. Not everyone is interested in time alignment. If you're not interested in it, then skip that step. If you are interested in it, measure to the mid bass, okay? So measure, don't worry about the tweeter, measure to the mid bass. You can measure to the tweeter. Go back and watch the little portion of what we were talking about just to have the numbers, because sometimes you have to move it around a little bit. But measuring to the mid bass will give you the best. It's the biggest speaker. It's the one that's going to be loudest. Anyways, next, you're going to want to EQ. You're going to need some form of an RTA to do a DSP. You just need an audible RTA, something like an iTest mic or a U-Test mic plugged into an iPad or something like that that'll allow you to actually see the audio happening. The DM810 has an RTA built into it, but it's an electrical RTA, not an audio RTA. So you're going to need to figure out an audio RTA solution for that. You can use your laptop, whatever. Do the passenger front door, do the driver's front door. Combine them two together, figure it out, tweak it a little bit there. Do the rear with them shut off. Isolate. The whole thing is isolating. So just like we're all doing right now, safe distances, measure that one, bring them together, do these. I prefer to do the rear together. I don't bother to do left, right, rear because it's not really necessary. It's just kind of like just going to be sound effect anyways. And then I do both of those. The last thing I do is I bring in the subwoofer. Now, sometimes I'll go front and then bring the subwoofer in at that point because I just like to skip ahead and do the rears last. But that's about it.
All right. I have this one that was pretty cool. It says,
You had a cool one?
I have a cool one. James say it's a Rockford T500.1 XBD, right? Too much power for the Kicker Comp RT 8-inch bridge into 1 ohm. I mean, you don't have to bridge it. It's just one channel. That's it. Period. And I believe it's too much.
Yeah.
I believe it's 500 watts.
So
that's all. Yeah. Okay. It's
all right. So the question is, yeah. I love this question. You're right. This is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Just because an amplifier will play down to 1 ohm doesn't mean you have to do it. That's why they give you like a 1 ohm rating, a 2 ohm rating, and a 4 ohm rating, because sometimes you have to run it that way, and it's okay. It's okay to take a 1,000 watt amp at 1 ohm and run it at 4 ohms and get 500 watts out of it if the speaker you're putting it on is only designed to handle 500 watts. It's not going to hurt anything. It's perfectly acceptable. We do that a lot because sometimes what we'll run into is a guy will show up with like, hey man, I got my surfboard here. I want to put this on a set of 8s. Yeah, right. Not going to happen. Okay, that's what we got. These are the cards we're playing. So we'll up the ohm load so that we don't destroy whatever it is we're putting on them. We've often talked about the SCAR RP amplifiers, how even though they'll do 1 ohm, we don't run them at 1 ohm. There again, that's your personal preference. We're not going to open that can of worms right now. But yeah, that's really the thing. You don't always have to match up. A best example of this is Alpine R-Types. Alpine R-Types previous would handle 1,000 watts RMS. Okay, RMS we all know is fiction.
Yep.
So people will go out and buy a 1,000-watt amp, put the two together, and blow the ever-loving bejeebus, made-up word, out of the R-Type because it's not made to do that. It's only made to handle 500 watts of real power.
Yep.
Simple solution, change the ohm load on the R-Type so that the 1,000-watt amp is actually putting out 500 watts. Yeah, I get it. You should have just bought a 500-watt amp in the first place. You didn't. Life moves on, though, and you get to keep your equipment. You got a blown woofer, so you just get the new one with the right ohm load.
Yep.
All right,
Brian Miles, thank you so much for dropping the $10. 5-star car stereo for the win from South Carolina. Thank you so much, buddy. Also, Joe say, nice shirt, Fernando.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't familiar with this, what he's wearing, this is the 12-volt Clean Wire Club. That you can find it on Facebook. It's our new web.
It's not.
Whatever.
You cannot find it on Facebook. It's in Teesprings.
Well, no, you get the shirt on Teespring /store/
Okay.
5-star, but the 12-volt Clean Wire Club is our new group on
Facebook, yes.
Yeah, that. The whole idea behind it is everywhere you go on Facebook and you go on Instagram and everyone's showing all their cool panels and all this stuff that at the end of the day,
Fabrication.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But there's a million fabrication places. Fine, cool. Well, we want to show off wiring because there's a lot of you guys out there that really appreciate it, and there's a lot of guys out there that do great wiring, and there's no place for them to show it.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing really well. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. You guys are posting pictures every day.
Mm-hmm.
It is strongly regulated, though, meaning if it's not a picture of wiring, it goes bye-bye. Now, we do allow questions, so if you see somebody, you can ask all the questions you want. And also, if you're trying to find somebody, we've had a bunch of people that have actually taken us up on that, and they'll be like, hey, I live here. Is there anyone that does wiring like this? It's a great thing. But it's all around wiring. I don't care, no fab.
So the questions have to be related with the wiring, because if you start asking like, oh, I have these subwoofers, how can I
you're gonna
find
get deleted.
the box and everything, is going to be deleted. Also, if
and it's
you
nothing
have...
personal.
No, exactly. If you... Some people put the before and after. Sometimes they just leave the before and never put the after, so that's gonna get deleted. So it's just wiring. That's it.
Okay, Robert, I'd like to see that one. I could run a 3-minute mile, but would overheat and die. I'd pay to see that. I mean, not the dying part. I would just pay to see you run a 3-minute mile. Holy crap.
Dude, man.
Trust me.
No, there's no way. I got
6.
short legs. No, I can't run.
6 is hard enough.
Oh, okay, Bobby, I'm sorry, man. It's not like I skipped your question. It's been a lot. That was my next question. Bobby asks, what is your favorite power wire? 4,000 or 6,000 Stinger? 1 or 0?
So we're talking about RCAs?
No, power wire.
They make a different power wire?
Yeah. They make the 6,000 series and the 4,000
series. They
do?
On power wire?
Yeah.
What is it, the color?
It's just the color. That's it. It's the same wire. It's just the color. Blue.
Oh, I was going to say.
And, okay, the reason why on the 4,000...
I didn't know. I thought it was just color.
Yeah.
I thought it was just color. I didn't realize they actually changed the whole...
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bobby. You taught me something. I thought it was just color. I know they had high performance.
Yeah.
So, like, if it is the blue and the silver is technically high performance, and the red and the black is just regular Stinger. So I'm guessing that would be the difference.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm old school, and I like red and black. Even though we do a lot of blue because the kits come with it. And I like the red. But sometimes the blue comes with better fuse holders.
Yes.
So that's why you'll see us switch sometimes. Like on the 8 gauge, the blue comes with a better fuse holder than the red, so we don't buy the red because the red comes with a glass fuse holder, which is like stupid. So we buy the blue 8 gauge kits because they come with the minis. But I like the red.
Yeah.
But I don't really care. I like red and silver or red and black. But the thing is with me, a lot of times what it comes down to is what's in stock and what matches. So I can't do like red 0 gauge to blue 4 gauge. I'd lose my freaking mind.
Yeah.
Paul's over there going, just calm down. Just take a whole kit and take what you need.
Yes.
Because I'm like, dude, how do you have like colors that don't match? What is wrong with you, bro? So
and also, I mean, the fuse is different. The 6,000, it comes with like a kind of like long. Other than that,
is there a DSP that plays DSDs? I think there's some add-ons, but what you want to look at is don't even worry about the DSP. Just pick this guy up right here. This is the Moscone AMAS 96K. You can kind of get why it's called 96K. It's got a Toshlink output to go into your DSP as well as a standard RC output. You can download the Onkyo app to your iPod or iPad, I should say. Download the Onkyo app to your iPad, and then when you can stream from your iPad the DSD files because the Onkyo app unlocks that to this, and you can get the 96K resolution. Supposedly.
All right.
I've heard it. It sounds really good.
Jason, he just dropped $5. Shout out to the Foss Car Audio in Washington and all the local shops they willing to do install during this lockdown. Yeah, you know, sometimes you have to.
So let's talk about it for a minute,
Okay.
because I know it's like. So the whole purpose of the show is to not talk about that. Okay,
Yeah.
we're not even going to mention it because it sucks. The world right now is in a place that has never been in my lifetime, and probably, well, it's never been this way in all our lifetimes. This is insanity on a scale that is just boggles the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just hard to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I just don't even want to talk about it, because we're all getting inundated with it so much. It's just ridiculous.
This situation is really hard right now for everybody.
If you're able to support a local
business,
support the local business.
Yeah. I believe this is the time to support people like that. You can find power wire radios, everything online. But why not support your local businesses? So if you have the opportunity, one at a time.
Isn't it more fun just knocking on the door and going,
Yeah.
I just need this. I called ahead.
Yeah.
Calling ahead.
Yeah.
You know, I had pizza last night.
Yeah.
Called ahead. You know.
I forgot. I told you. I went to Domino's to pick up a pizza, and I'm like, and he's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean no? I just want to pick it up. He's like, drive through, buddy. I'm like, okay.
So I went to order Domino's last night.
Yeah.
And I typed in Domino's. Domino's was there, and somehow it took me to Papa John's, which was funny because I think it was Sue's fault, because I think Sue was, because when I told her I wanted Domino's, she goes, well, if that's what you want, which is code for I don't want that.
Yeah.
And so I started ordering, and she goes, oh, so you changed your mind and you're going to Papa John's? Awesome. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny. So
X-Men, yes. Here they have drive-through pizza. Actually, Domino's and Sunset Point, they have that. So
did Fro just drop a 5 spot?
Ooh.
Gotta bounce early, gents, and have a great evening. Patreon, DNF Tool Drawer. Oh, we'll save that all for the end. Thank you, Fro. You're the man.
Thank you, man.
Pizza sounds good. Gotta have olives, too. Ooh.
And don't forget, Fro Jason,
sauce.
actually, it's in Oregon.
Yeah.
You can find him here in YouTube, Stereo King, Oregon. And you can follow him on Instagram, too.
So they're in Oregon, which is up there by Washington, which really sucks, as we all know, because we all passed that class. But they're open, they're there, they're trying to do what they can. We're all trudging along. Everyone needs support. The EMT and firefighters now. Oh, exactly, Justin.
Oh, Justin Murphy. Yes, man.
It's a bit, and thanks for the $5, Justin. Yes. I'm more into supporting the local restaurants. Not gonna lie. But I'll support anybody. I mean, you know, God, you know, I didn't want to go here tonight, but it's just there's so many stories that we all have to talk about, and all I can say is be nice to anybody that is there to serve you, and you should always be nice. I mean, even before this, you know, when I go out to eat, like, and I have a waitress, I always overtip, because they're doing something that I don't want to do. I don't want to do dishes. I don't want to cook. I just want you to be nice to me and say hi and put up with my dry jokes, and, you know, I'll pay you for it. I think that's a wonderful thing. You know, when I go to a checkout line at a grocery store, I'm also I try to be. I realize she's doing something that she might not want to do, or he's doing something he might want to do, and I'm always pleasant. And you always have to be nice, even if you're in a hurry and the person in front of you is paying with a check or cash. Check is the worst. You just, hey, where do we gotta be? We're always in a hurry to get nowhere to do nothing. So just everyone slow down, be nice to everybody, and we'll all get through this. And keep watching Instagram because we do daily fun.
All right,
sanitizing audio control products.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, man, that's me.
What?
He said, "Are we sanitizing audio control products?" Because they're in Washington. No, but I am in constant contact with Chris. And for those of you, that know Chris because he is a big fan of the show, he's okay. He's doing fine. They did have another Chris there that did get it pretty bad, but he's past it. He's over it. And he's the home audio guy. He's basically Chris's counterpart on the home audio side. And he's fine. No one else in the audience got it. He actually came from Florida. Go figure.
Yeah,
and when he got back, and the whole family went through it, and he came out of the other side.
They have a bad time, but thankfully
but
now
yeah,
it's better.
They're on a skeleton staff, and they're doing a lot of phone stuff.
All right, so let's go to the car audio.
Yeah,
again.
Hit back. We got a couple minutes. Let's
somebody say,
questions.
Dean, can you? That's a good one, but I don't know. Can you do a Zen 9 unboxing review? And the best system you will run it. I would like to do the unboxing.
Yes.
I don't know what kind because
I don't know about the
plenty
system
plenty systems you can do, but I believe the unboxing that would be cool.
Yeah.
Just so they can see it.
Yeah, because what I'll do is that's a question. While you guys are all typing away your little questions and stuff, do you like the reviews? Yes or no? Just say yes, like reviews, or yes, that's fine. Just throw it up there. Let me know. Because we've had some people like, well, I've had one guy. I don't like the reviews. And I always thought you guys liked reviews, and we've asked before.
Like that guy.
So, yes. Okay, there we go. We like the reviews. Perfect. That's all I wanted to know. So my plan is to do, because we are going to have time. Today we were sitting down, and we're going through, like, the videos that we have coming out and the things we're going to be doing. We have some stuff that we still have clients that we need to get through the products that we've just been so busy up to this point. So for us, this is actually going to be kind of nice. We'll be able to knock out some of these deeper videos, some deep cuts, some longer ones. But yeah, so my plan is to actually do an unboxing review of the Zen 9 before it goes home. Because I'm going to take it off the shelf and put it where it belongs in my house.
All right, what are your thoughts on the Pioneer GM D9704? It's a good one. Yeah, if you're going to get it, that's fine. No problem.
Oh, the new one, the 9704?
Yeah.
So the one nice thing about the new Pioneer over the old Pioneer is they fixed one flaw that was phenomenal. They took the turn-off pop away.
No way.
I know you guys all liked it, but they got rid of it. It was kind of a disappointment, but it's gone.
All right,
so,
X-Men.
Yes.
Flux Evo versus K2s. What are you taking?
I'm still taking K2s.
Oh, I'm going to take K2s.
I'm still taking K2s. However, something to think about. It's double the money for the K2. Is it worth double the money?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
If we're in the world where money is no object, then obviously going for the extra money, going up to the K2s, are the way to go. But if you're not, then, it's like settling on the Ferrari. Do I want the Lamborghini or the Ferrari?
Ooh, that's
I'm going to settle for the Ferrari.
No, I think it's like...
no, I want the Lamborghini, but, that's really the question.
You can go wrong either way. You can't. You had the Flux, that they are, for Focal, probably the most amazing sound speaker. Not exactly, but because they have the amps and the Utopias and all that stuff. But Focal Flux Evo, really nice, awesome. I prefer the
K2s. Bobby, that would mean that I liked it in the first place.
Get the 6 Flux. No, somebody say get the 4 Flux.
Yeah, I know. I'll put up with dry jokes. That's good. Okay, possible dumb question. Is there a way to have plexiglass windows on the opposite side of the subs to see it from the back? Ported box. Ask because I've never seen a box like that. So years ago, we had a guy that built aquariums, so we call him, and we actually did the whole inside of the box, ports, the whole inside out of plexi, so you could see right through into the back wall of the box because the L was plexi, the subwoofer was mounted on plexi. So the opposite would be true from the back side. If you made the back of the box plexi, and let's say you had L ports that came in and turned, you could make the L, the side pieces could be wood, and the backs could be plexi. So that way you could see the whole back into the subwoofer through a double window. That would work fine. What would be really cool is if you took and had something etched on like the port glass, so that it looked like, and then put LEDs at the top, so it looked like you had like a floating logo of some kind. You could do that with etched vinyl, or you could sandblast it in. Sandblasting is fun. You can get a sandblaster pretty cheap, and you just sit there and do this, and it's really easy. Or the vinyl is pretty simple too, but I preferred the sandblasting.
All right.
Yeah.
Brian has a good one. What amplifier would you want with AV front stage and D for rear or sub channel?
I'm sorry, I still get hooked on Morel for me. I love, and he of course said, forget the whiny complainers.
Yeah.
All right, give me one more time.
All right. What kind of amplifier will you do? Front stage, AV.
AB front stage.
Front stage, and D for rear or sub.
I'm gonna go with the Morel 5-channel.
3-channel mode.
Yeah. So Morel makes their 5-channel amplifier, and the reason why this amplifier just like is so nice is that it's a 5-channel amp. Channels 1 through 4 are AB, and 5 is a class D. What we do with that amplifier is we take 1 and 2, bridge it to the front corner, 3 and 4, bridge it to the other front corner, and that gives us like 150 or 140 watts left and right, and then it's like 500 watts for a sub. It's freaking awesome. It sounds great. It gives you that nice AB class sound. It's a Morel amplifier. And the nice thing about it too, it's extremely affordable. Okay, it's like the most affordable version of that, and still at that quality. It's not crazy Morel prices, that's for sure. It's not. Now they also make a 4-channel version and a mono block, which are essentially the same two things, just in separate heat sinks. So what you could do is you could buy a 4-channel for front, a 4-channel for rear, and a mono block, or you could buy the 5-channel and a 4-channel, and then you could do, front. If you're gonna do a 3-way set, you could buy a 5-channel and the mono block. I'm sorry, 5-channel and the 4-channel. And you do like tweeter mid off of the 5-channel and sub, and then you take the 4-channel and bridge it to the mid bass. So, and they're all extremely affordable and sound phenomenal.
I will go with Tony Dimore.
Oh,
AV amplifiers, man. Boom,
those are
right
A amplifiers. I thght it was an A class.
2-channel.
Is it an AB?
I think.
Yeah, it's also $6,000. Slow it down, killer.
We're just talking over here.
Slow it
so why
down,
not?
man. Slow it down. Holy God. All right, give me another one.
Can I wire an LOC to one speaker?
Yeah.
Just grab the signal.
Yeah, just grab. Yes, 9. Okay. If you're doing a subwoofer, yes. Okay, yes, because yes, you're fine. If you're doing highs, meaning left and right, something that has to have left and right, then no.
Ooh.
Grab both left and right.
Okay, look at that. Please do an install using the Moscone high-res Bluetooth module. It's not this one?
The Moscone Bluetooth high-res module? Yeah, the one we just. Yeah, that's the one we just had out.
Yep.
This guy right here, the AM AS96K, that's actually currently in your car.
Why it's empty? Because it's in my car now.
Yeah, we're playing with it right now.
Yeah.
Just we had to do some work in his car the other day, filming unboxing review of the new Prime 501.
Yep.
And when we put it all back to the way we had it, we decided that we're like, dude, quick, grab a Toshlink cable. Let's throw this in and see what it sounds like.
Yep.
I need to download some tracks onto my iPad so that he can do a more thorough evaluation.
Yep.
And then once we've played with it a little bit, we're definitely, we're definitely going to review it.
Yes.
Give us some time to play with it a little bit. As you know, we don't always go as fast as humanly possible on some of these things, and we just kind of leapfrog around as far as our responsibilities.
Because we still have to work on these things over here.
But we have to do these, and time is fun and all that.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're gonna do one. 54 minutes by YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So I can see it here. Thank
You wanna know the model number is the AMAS 96K.
And I can tell you right now, when you see the price, you're gonna be like,
What?
what? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I
It's
mean,
the best Bluetooth on the market right now.
that's
Love
right.
mine. There you go. New Prima amps, nice. Any new Prima substitute? No, all they did was work on the amps. So for those of you that didn't get to see the show with Eric, this is the new, which you guys will learn all about this next week because it'll be up next week. This is the new Prima 501 Prime 501, not Prima. Prima's Audison, and it's a whole different world compared to this guy. So yeah, we just did the unboxing review, took it all apart, showed all that. So that'll be up next week for you guys to play with and enjoy. So yeah, really excited about that. And I'm excited that I think that's going to be it for now.
Yeah.
I think that takes us to an hour. Yes, about 5 minutes. So that gives us enough time to end the show. So DNF Tool Drawer is the place you can go to find all the cool tools that we use to do installs.
Correct.
Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips on YouTube is the new channel for all the Q&A supercuts. So what we do is we take shows like this, we cut them down to just the questions and just the answers, nothing else. They're small, biteable, swallowable. Yeah.
2 minutes, 1 minute.
5 minutes, something simple.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing when you're sitting on the John and you just want to get your fill of audio.
Yep.
You can boom, subscribe, please. It's a fun new channel. There's about 80 some odd videos already up there for you to enjoy. Patreon is a place you can go if you want to support the show. Teespring/store/Fiverr is a place you can get shirts like this. Facebook is a place you can go to find 12-volt Clean Wire Club. Make sure you join. If anything, just have fun. It's there for fun, guys. It's Facebook. Yep. Facebook is all about fun. And it's Saturday night. Normally I'd be saying Uber, Lyft, don't do things stupid. But all you guys are at home drinking. So you don't have to do that. So what you want to do is you want to get Uber food. Uber Eats, man.
Yeah.
Call your local place. Get a delivery of some cool food.
Don't go out, man.
Don't go out. Just have
home.
some. Just get some pizza delivered.
Yeah.
You know, get that sandwich delivered. Call Jimmy John's. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're all doing it. So support your local eateries that are just the guys that are coming in and still cooking and still having fun and still making food for you. Just buy their food. That way, you know, we'll all get through this. We'll all be on the other side, and we'll all still be jamming with awesome car audio, right?
Correct.
Monday, we'll be back again on Facebook doing the webcaster, because the webcaster works on Facebook right now. So we'll be back at 6:30 unless something else happens.
Correct.
We'll be here, though, because we got this guy's truck. So we got to work on this.
So
we'll
positive,
see you back
people.
Monday. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, enjoying the show. We hope this did something for you. You guys have a great night. We'll see you
Monday.
Monday.
Bye.
Bye.